Hi, welcome to MomCave Live.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Valisa. We have a guest this week, Monica Torres.
Yes.
She's in from LA, all
I
the
am.
way from the other coast, and in my apartment, all the way from LA.
That's right.
And Monica is the creator of a web series about moms. Imagine that.
I know.
Called Living the Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Living the Dream, this series?
Yeah, if you go on, I have it Living the Dream, the series, because it's Living the Dream is literally every YouTube video is named Living the Dream. I did find that out later.
Right.
So I put the series just because I wanted to stand out.
Awesome.
Not that that's going to do much, but hey.
Okay. Give us a short summary of what it's about.
Well, Living the Dream is about 3 ladies who are Generation Xers. If you know that, they were like, 90s. And that was kind of a generation of, what do I want to be when I grow up? And then you all of a sudden turn 45 and you're like, what do I want to be when I grow up? And just the expectations kind of hit you, like, wow, what happened to my life? And where you are and living in Hollywood and growing old in Hollywood and being a mom in Hollywood. It's
Old in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, have you seen, like, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? It's like,
No, I try to avoid that.
yeah. Like, that's not the real Hollywood. I mean, you just, it's definitely a young person's town, and you gotta, like, growing old in there, just kind of work with that.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you know that if you have a baby after 35, they call you a geriatric pregnancy?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. You have
Who's that?
Did your doctor ever say that to you?
No, I've never heard that.
I was like, what?
They
Anyway.
put you in a special category, and they put you in a line, like a testing line over in the
This
corner.
is my geriatric pregnancy. Anyhow, so our topic this week is, we thought we could talk about potty talk on our part and our children's parts.
That's so funny that you say that because I'm sitting on the potty right now.
He's on the potty.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's probably the only time you're probably by yourself.
Right.
Like right now.
Oh.
Did you lock the door?
I did.
Good for you. We might hear screaming from outside of the door. So you said your daughter is having a potty talk.
Phase. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when she was 3 years old, and my parents were very, 50s oriented. My mom came home one day after dropping my daughter off and was like, your Lola was singing the vagina song. My vagina, just singing about her vagina. And my parents were like, what are you teaching her? And literally, it was vagina, that looks like a vagina.
Yeah.
Like, everything is a vagina.
But
Well,
that's
you
an
should call it
actual
the correct name.
anatomically correct term. Like,
Right, that's
No, but
good that she was calling it the right name. My daughter, when she was 3, used to call it her front booty.
her front booty.
Yes.
I'm gonna call mine that.
Yeah, all right. Imagine if adults called it that.
Adults have a lot of other words for it. But,
JJ.
Yeah.
I guess the kids, but they learn a lot of things with their peers, like I've heard Lola's come home and called it a popo. Like, oh, my popo, look at this popo. And I was like, is that like a pupusa? What is that? Like,
yeah.
is that
I find that to be the police, the popo.
So what does your son do? Tell me. What does he
So
say?
he knows all of the correct words for everything, and he'll talk about penises and vaginas a lot. But lately, it's about poop. Like, everything is poop. It doesn't even make sense. We'll be eating dinner, and he'll be like, "Hey, this is a poop fork. You're a poop mom." Like, he just wants to say the word poop over and over and over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he doesn't go to school or anything yet. He's about to start school, and so I've been trying to use that as like, you're not going to be able to say that in school. You're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they do, and that's what and then that's kind of like a thing where my daughter always tries to be good at school. Like, you know, it's like a big thing with her to kind of be, but it doesn't, when they're out on the, like, schoolyard, like, I haven't even talked to her about where babies come from. I mean, she's 6, and then she came home one day going, you know, it comes out of your vagina, and I was like, who told you that? Like, it beat me to the punch. Like, I didn't even get to have that mom-daughter talk about.
That must be disappointing.
It was. I was like, is this what they're talking about?
Yeah.
I bet they are.
I think I've been like too open with my son about where babies come from, because he'll ask me the questions and I'll answer them. You know, I won't go too in detail, but I'll answer them. So he knew for a long time that babies came out of vaginas, and he wanted a sibling for a long time. So he kept asking me all the time, when are you going to go to the doctor and find out if a baby's in your belly and it's going to come out of your vagina? And he would say that to me in private. But one day he said it to me in the elevator in front of like several people, and they're all looking at me like, "What have you done?"
I know. And I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys can give me. You know, I can't knock vagina out of her vocabulary. I mean, it's her vagina.
It is.
I mean, it's a vagina.
Vagina is vagina.
It's something to be proud of, but right. I mean, it's like you know, it's like, what are the tricks of the trade? You know, like. Do you add? One mom, my friend, told me that if you make something really, like, specific, like poop. Well, you know where poop comes from? It comes from eating, and make it kind of scientific and physiological. They'll like not think of the word. That might be.
I don't know. I don't think that'll work. I think that
they love calling each other poopy face now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll make a song about it. Mia is a poopy face. Mia is no, I'm not a poopy face. No, I'm not. And she'll come back. Zoe is a poopy face.
Well, you know, grown-ups find like pooping and farting funny. You know, when you go to see movies and stuff, there's always poop jokes and fart jokes, and something about it is universally funny. And kids don't know when it's appropriate or not appropriate.
They don't. And you know, we were watching Wreck-It Ralph, and you know that cute little candy girl calls like Wreck-It Ralph like, "Hey, butt face," and it's a term of endearment. So like when I came home, Lola was like, "See a butt muncher," or she said something like that, and I was like, "Where did?" Okay, because it's in, you know, that's a cute movie. It's an age-appropriate movie for a 6-year-old, but they talk about a butt muncher or whatever in there. You know?
A term of endearment. Oh, my darling butt muncher. I don't know.
I love this conversation.
But then, I'm glad that you're game for this.
I am. Anyone who knows me out there knows I can talk about this for hours.
Now, how do you guys feel about cursing?
No.
Oh.
The traditional curse words.
Right.
Do your kids ever say them?
But the oldest one did when she was 3 or 4, and I heard she said it under her breath and knew it was bad. And I said, "Where did you learn that?" And she said she called out the nanny.
Oh,
no. I was like, whoa. But I didn't want to make a big deal of it, because then she would, you know, want to say it all the time if I brought attention to it. So I just kind of glossed it over. She never really said it again.
Yeah. My son knows all of the words, and sadly it's because I say them.
Right.
And but he doesn't say them in front of other people, because we've had that talk. It's like, we can say this in private, but you can't say this in public, or you can't say this at school. So I don't know how long that's going to last. But
yeah, I've heard other kids say it. My husband and I are weird cussers. That's for sure. Like, that's like our nature, and we've had to completely change our nature to not say it in front of her. But then, like, so she knows of them, but she doesn't really kind of get it. And then, but she'll be like, she knows other things, like, not that, like my husband will say, "Stop screwing around," or like, so she'll say like screwing, and it's so weird coming out of a 6-year-old. "I'm not screwing around, Mom," you know, or it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird thing, and I was like, well, you just can't say that at school.
Well, there are a lot of like colloquial, is that the right word? Colloquial expressions that if you think about where they came from, are not appropriate. But now, like screwing around is a thing that okay to say.
My husband used to say, "Oh, it's all nutted up," and I'm like, "That's not really good to say in front of the kids. Like, we don't want them saying it's nutted up." I just hate that.
I remember when I was young, and like the people started using the term "that sucks."
Oh, right.
Which now it's not even a bad thing. Like, it's become okay to say that sucks. But my dad got so angry at me, and he would like ground me for saying it, and I didn't know why. And then finally, my mom explained like the origin of the term being like actual sucking.
Really?
Like you don't know.
I did not know. I'm like learning something. I'm like, wow.
That's where it came from.
I'm Catholic, so I don't know. I don't know anything until now. It took me like until I was 35 to learn stuff.
Okay.
So I didn't know that either. So if you finish the phrase, it's that sucks.
Okay, viewers watching, don't get easily offended.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that sucks balls, or
right.
That's the phrase.
Yeah.
And that it came from, but now everyone just uses it in everyday expressions.
Right, like that blows.
Right, there's another one.
That blows.
Means the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We say suck a lot. I say, oh, that sucks. Lola says that sucks all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that is one thing she does now.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't love hearing my son say that, but then again, like, it has lost that meaning.
Yeah.
I
mean, does your son ever go, does he talk about butts? Like, that's a smelly butt, or...
Yeah.
Like, is a
anything
butt
poopy, smelly, farty, butts, penis. That's funny to them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, nothing. They're going to turn into wonderful human beings.
They are. Yeah. It's going to be fine.
Right.
Like anything, everything in raising kids, I feel like it's a stage. Like, we obsess about it when it's happening. And, you know, you go and you, like, Google what to do when this is happening, or you read books. But then before long, it'll stop. And then something else will happen.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think my daughter's going to call me a butt muncher at 14. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, she's going to call you worse. She's going to call you
That's
true.
true. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's so true. I then I'll be praying back for butt muncher.
I know.
Can you just call me butt muncher like you did when you were sick?
It was a term of endearment.
Please.
Totally.
I love to butt muncher.
Our other mom that does MomCave with us, Stephanie, isn't here right now, but she just wrote an amazing blog post that I read, and everyone else will someday soon when we put it on the blog, about how her son said the F word, and she didn't mind. She was actually kind of proud of him because he said it to her and her husband in like the right context.
Right. It was, and he was grammatically correct.
He used it correctly. He made a really great joke with it, and they're funny people, and so to them it was hysterical that he said it, but now they're terrified he's going to say it at daycare. So
right. Well, and then I think, you know, I don't know, like, do you protect the, you know, I walk that line all the time, like, do I shield her from all this stuff when it's out there in the world, and then it's, you know, somebody's going to say it and she's going to be like, you know, like, what does that mean?
So what you're saying is you should teach your children to curse correctly. Exactly. Use the F word responsibly.
Linguistically correct, yes. According to my UCLA lab class, you should use it, and teach them correctly. And then, you know, and then, like, I think that's fantastic. He used it as a joke, maybe.
Yeah, he's a smart kid. Yeah, good vocabulary.
Yeah.
You got to be proud of your kid when they incorporate any new vocabulary word. Really, right?
Right.
I want to tell everybody about our giveaway this week. We're giving away ice cream, and a lot of it.
Okay, so if LA people are watching, which I know you were because I publicized this on my Facebook page, and there's 400 of you. So I'm sure 400 of you are watching this right now. You can win ice cream.
You can. It comes from the Adirondack Creamery, and they have some special mojo way of sending it across the country. So even if someone in LA wins it, you win several pints of ice cream. It will show up at your door. It's like this amazing, creamy wonderfulness. And yeah, you can enter. There's a link right below this video or on the blog post. So check that out.
And if anyone from LA wins it, I'll be eating it with you. Because mom doesn't eat ice cream that often.
How do they win? Do they tell the funniest story of their kid cursing?
That would be great. There's different ways that you can enter the giveaway, and one of them is leave a comment on the blog post, and that would be a great thing to leave. Tell us a funny story about your kid cursing.
All right.
You could use the ice cream to bribe your kid not to curse.
Yeah. That bribe doesn't work for me. Does it work for you guys? Like, I don't get anything out of a bribe. She's like, well, I don't care.
Do you notice the silence coming from behind this wall? Because I told my 4-year-old if he was good and quiet for 15 minutes while we had this conversation, that he could have 2 desserts.
2 desserts? Whoa.
But by 2 desserts, he doesn't understand. I'm like little tiny piece of something, and he'll get 2 of them.
Right. Okay.
So I'm not that terrible.
No, that's really good. I mean, I go full blown out. I'll be like, okay, if you do this one thing for me, we're gonna go to Target, and you can get anything you want.
I'll buy you a boat.
I know. She's like, she doesn't even go for it. She's like, nah, I'd rather just do this and bug you.
Well, on that note, I think our time is up. Make sure you'll also see the link for Monica's show in the description, which just launched this week, their first episode. And if you want to hear some more funny mom stuff, watch that show, Living the Dream, and enter our giveaway to win the ice cream. Good to talk to everybody.
Yay, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.